Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, greetings of virtue. Good afternoon, BPJS Kesehatan Ambassadors all over Indonesia. Welcome to the Initiative National Debate Competition or INDC 2020-24. It's very good to see you all here again. This afternoon, we will witness an interesting match between INI and the crew or INDC from Regional Deputy 11 as well as the Affirmative House versus Suri girls from Regional Deputy 4th as the Negative House. Because there's a saying in Indonesian, tak kenal maka tak sayang. So allow me to introduce myself. I am Laras Handoko from Regional Deputy 10. I will be your moderator for this afternoon and lead this session until it ends with the help of Corporate University and English Club crew. And then I would like to say hi to our honorable adjudicators. We have 3 adjudicators for this session. First adjudicator is Mr. Donni Hendrawan. How are you, sir? Hello, Mr. Donni. Are you here with us?
Yes, Balaras. Sorry, sorry. I'm still in the middle of activity. So is it okay if I'm not open my camera? Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Next, the second adjudicator is Mrs. Ayatullah Pomalingo. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. Thank you very much, Mbak Laras, and hello, everyone. Just say your board, please.
Thank you, ma'am. The last but not least, the third adjudicator, Mr. Hendra Rompas. How are you, sir?
Hi, Mbak Laras. Never been better for all of BPJS Ambassador. Hello, hi.
Okay, that's good to hear, sir. Thank you once again for joining this session in time, and thank you for making the time for INDC 2024. And here we have 2 teams that have joined. Allow me to introduce the contestants. First team is INI and the crew as the Affirmative House. Hello, INDC team. How are you? Okay,
Hello.
we have.
I'm extremely good and feel nervous.
Okay, that's good to hear. We have Mr. Budi Hartanto as the first speaker. We have Miss Ana Mariatul Ulfa as the second speaker, and we have Miss Wayan Ria Medicina as the third speaker, with Mrs. Nara Grace Ginting as their honorable counselor. We're moving on to the opposition or negative house is the Suri girls. Hello, Suri girls team.
Hello, everyone.
I see that you're trying again this year.
Yes.
Yes, with the same motivation, okay? We have Miss Norita Manur Tambunan as the first speaker.
No,
Miss Anissa
Grace.
Yunita. I'm sorry?
Grace.
Oh, Miss Tabitha Grace as the first speaker. Second speaker is Miss Anissa.
The second is Norita.
Oh, okay. Sorry. The second is Miss Anissa Yunita as the second speaker, and the third is Mrs. Norita Manur Tambunan as the third speaker. Is that right?
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes.
The first speaker is Grace. The second
Yes.
is me, Norita. And the third is Anissa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So the first is Miss Tabitha Grace, second is Miss Yunita, and the third is Miss Norita. Okay, is that correct?
No, the first is me, and the second is Norita, and the third is Anissa.
Oh, okay. Grace, Norita, and Anissa.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think there's a mix up in the speaker list. Okay, and the counselor is Mr. Dashiao. I also want to say hello to the all audience in the Zoom meeting. To all the audience, I want to say that the chat box is all yours. So please bob the chat box with all your supporting messages for both teams. Everyone is open to give your support and cheer to your favorite team member, but remember, it's a safe space, so please keep it positive and be kind. Before we start, allow me to read some small rules for all participants. The first, no participants are allowed to open their microphones before their own turn. Second, team members must rename themselves with the format. I see that you already did that. Third, each team member joins with their own Zoom account and not allowed to join in shared account. The fourth, the operator may do necessary things to make sure that the session runs smoothly. That's it for the rules. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and our honorable adjudicators, without any further ado, let's start the debate. So, the motion for this session is this House believes that the government should implement paternity leave for fathers. The premise, paternity leave is a type of leave granted to fathers following the birth or adoption of a child. The primary purpose of paternity leave is to promote bonding within the family and to recognize the role of fathers and partners in childcare and family responsibilities. Debaters, I hope everyone is prepared for today's motion and use your time wisely. Operator, please kindly set the timer. Okay, the first chance of speaking comes to the first speaker of affirmative side. Are you ready? You have 3 minutes. You can see the time in the corner. Your time begins once you start speaking.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Adjudicators. Today we argue that the government should provide paternity leave for fathers. Here's why it's important for workers, employers, and reducing maternal and infant mortality in Indonesia. First, paternity leave lets fathers spend time with their newborn, which makes family life better. Research from the Journal of Family Psychology 2021 shows that when fathers are involved, it helps the child's development and make family bonds stronger. Dr. M also found that early father involvement leads to better outcomes for children. In Indonesia, we know that only 35% of fathers are involved in daily child care, much lower than the global average. A study by the KPAI in 2023 shows that children with involved fathers have better emotional and social development. For employers, offering paternity leave makes employees happier and more loyal while reducing costs from absence and turnover. Studies in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology 2020 and the Labor Economic 2022 show that work-life balance policies like a paternity leave lower workplace stress and boost job satisfaction. Supported employees are more likely to stay with their company and perform well. Second, paternity leave helps reduce high maternal and infant mortality rates. Indonesia, we know, has one of the highest rates in Southeast Asia. Data from the WHO shows that the absence of fathers can lead to higher death rates among mothers and baby. Research in Child Development Perspective 2020 found that involved fathers reduce health risks for both mothers and baby and provide crucial emotional supports. On the third, Indonesia is making progress with UU KIA number 4, 2024, which focuses on the well-being of mothers and children during the first 1,000 days of life. This law aims to improve health and support for families. Implementing paternity leave fits perfectly with these goals. On the fourth, let's look at successful examples from other countries. According to the American Economic Review 2019, that Sweden's paternity leave system improved the health of mothers and children and reduced gender inequality at work. In Japan, paternity leave has led to better family well-being and lower health costs. And Iceland's paternity leave policy has led to lower maternal and infant mortality rates and better work-life balance. And last, implementing paternity leave in Indonesia supports family well-being, benefits the workplace, and improve public health. I think that's all. Thank you for your nice attention.
Thank you to the first speaker of affirmative team. Next, the first speaker of negative team, your time begins once you start speaking.
Okay, thank you. As the first speaker said from Affirmative House, that giving paternity leave for male workers is good idea. But in our team, we are disagree because there's no official regulations that discuss in detail about paternity leave for workers in Indonesia. Because there's no urgency or adequate basis that is able to manage the regulation to be ratified, because there's still many anomalies that actually happen in our society. Because not all men meant to be a father. Men tend to have proper responsibilities when it comes to taking care of baby. So the wives thinks that they won't be helpful in taking care of their baby, and it cannot be certain whether the presence of fathers in early stage of child's development will increase happiness, or it just give more stress to their wife. And then there are still many patriarchal culture that occur in Indonesia, which believe that men are not appropriate of doing woman's job, such as looking after babies or doing household job. The fathers doesn't want to look as feminine and weak because it will damage their manhood and masculinity. And then from the fact that from the survey in 2010 revealed that the men have received 15% more promotions than a woman. So if the father still insists to taking time off in paternity leave, it will affect their salary or career trajectory, such as lack promotion and being demoted. Apart from that, based on BPS in 2023, it's known that the number of male workers are bigger than a female workers. So that if paternity leave is implemented, it could cause losses for existing companies and workplace. So to provide take-home pay for male workers. And then if one of their partners has paternity leave, it will affect the household income, especially if the baby mothers takes unpaid maternity leaves. Less income will affect their love's life because without good and stable financing, the life of the mother and the baby will miserable. The worst thing that can be happen is trigger the domestic violence and end up with divorces. So for more detailed explanations, will be continued by Norita as second speaker. Thank you.
You still have 20 seconds left. You want to use it? No?
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay. Next is the second speaker of affirmative team. Your time begins once you start speaking.
Okay, good afternoon, the honorable adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. As the second speaker, I would like to emphasize more points as the first speaker has mentioned before. The first point is about maternal and infant mortality rates. Research suggests that paternal involvement, which has been recognized as a contributing factor to child development and health for many decades, is likely to affect infant mortality through the mother's well-being, primarily her access to resources and support. In spite of that, systemic barriers facing for the fathers and the influence of his involvement in the pregnancy has received little attention. The Commission of Paternal Involvement in Pregnancy Outcomes, or CPIPO, has identified that the father's support, including the relationship between fathers and mothers, correlated with the risk of poor to decrease the odds of preterm birth among recipient mothers compared to those lacking such support. For the next point that I would like to revisit is father's engagement. Evidence suggests that the paternity leave taking is associated with higher levels of father involvement. This study, run by Richard G. Petz, uses national longitudinal data to examine whether paternity leave taking is associated with two indicators that the father's engagement when children are infants. The results suggest that paternity leave taking, and especially relatively longer leave taking, is positively associated with children's satisfaction with father's involvement. The father-child closeness and the quality of the father-child communication engagement and parental relationship satisfaction. For the third point that I want to emphasize is about employee satisfaction. Sometimes organizations reflect the effect that they could make on their own employees' life. There is this study that has been conducted in 2019 that provides evidence to the effectiveness of the family policies that are meant to improve individual outcomes. This study shows that it benefits not just the individual, but also the family as a whole. The findings suggest evaluation of family-friendly policies or the government should extend stakeholders, for example, to spouses and children. Furthermore, building a supportive culture inside and outside the organization could increase the utilization rates. This research also finds that it benefits families, at least at a certain extent. It increases the father's life satisfaction. It also improves the mother's family relationship satisfaction. I think that's the point that I want to highlight as the second speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, the second speaker of negative theme. Operator, please kindly stop the timer. Okay, next, the second speaker of negative theme. Your time begins once you start speaking.
Thank you. After hearing some of pointers explanation from the first speaker affirmative team, we are never heard. We oppose and we do not agree the implementation of paternity leave. There are several reasons. The first, there is no limitation is whether only address biological child from marriage register in the state, child adopted or newborns, legal or illegal, stepchild or another. Refer to the references draft legislation paternity leave that are being proposed by Ministry of State Apparatus Utilization and Bureaucratic Reform, which is under discussion at Commission to the House of Representatives now. That's only talk about all wage earners. And we should force this paternity leave in our country when we have never heard the real data result in Indonesia. If you talk about decrease the baby blues on the mother, in where area we trying to prove the evidence in Indonesia. So according to the legal based data, if you look in another country, on the Asian continent only, it's different. Japan maternity leave, child care, life act data, they only can be taken up to 12 months. Singapore maternity leave act employment aid 2 weeks. This only apply to biological father and adoptive. In China, vary between province is very policies up to 15 days or none at all. So when we propose a length of leave, it's also still different. 40 days, 6 until 12 months. How much the length of ideal paternity leave for Indonesia? The paternity leave will be given by employee up to how many children? I believe we still remember that when we are days at PT Askes Persero, we only guaranteed pregnancy and delivery only 2 live children. And then the length of maternity and paternity leave also follow. Our honorable educator, we have made some SWOT analysis. There are no clear legal base, no experience data, no technical instruction yet on how to apply this leave, how to measure of effectiveness, and it could be used to another job maybe for the father, because Indonesia never have experience data. So how much the country or job of
Time is up. Okay, next, the third speaker of affirmative team. Your time begins once you start speaking.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, our honorable adjudicator. I'm the third speaker. I would like to respond the negative statement regarding the importance of paternity leave. I want to emphasize once again that Indonesia has a significant gap in father-child bonding and also the highest maternal and infant mortality rates in Southeast Asia. The main purpose of paternity leave is to help family bond and recognize the important roles of father and partner in childcare and family responsibility. For employers, providing paternity leaves can increase employee satisfaction and loyalty while reducing costs related to employee absences and turnover. Providing paternity leave will positively impact the company image. We know that the current workforce consists mostly in millennials, Gen Z, and in the future more from Generation Alpha. These two generations are increasingly exposed to the concept of work-life balance. So when working or looking for job, they will focus on companies that can provide them with a balance between work and outside of work. Specifically, the Maternity and Childhood Law, or UU-KIA, stipulated that paternity leave is granted for 2 working days and can be extended for additional 3 working days or by agreement. So this is leave not very long and doesn't totally impact the work environment. Regarding the social perception of patriarchal patterns still prevalent in Indonesia, we cannot escape that stigma. But every family has the right to determine how to run its own life, including the roles of father and mother in the household. A mother will feel more comfortable if accompanied by her husband. So once again, we want to convey that the government had made the right decision in regulating paternity leave, given this benefit and the urgent need to address high maternal and infant mortality rates in Indonesia, combined with our country's effort to improve maternal and child well-being through new legislation and addressing the gap in the father-child bonding. It is clear that implementing paternity leave is a smart move. It is support family well-being, benefit the workplace, and enhance public health. We certainly cannot implement paternity leave policies in all lines of work, but this is a good start for establishing such a policies. Having clear legal protection for paternity leave is important, and the technical implementation will surely progress. We hope this will have positive impact on both of the mother and the baby. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, the third speaker of negative team. Your time begins once you.
Okay, good afternoon, honorable educators, ladies and gentlemen. Please let us remind the motion of our debate is the government should implement paternity leave for fathers. We, the negative team, believe that the statement is false. It's been said by the affirmative team that the paternal leave will promote bonding within the family. This is wrong because whatever reason for growing father involvement, it has not changed the fact that mothers have to spend more time taking care of the kids than the fathers. The leave is significantly insufficient to allow them to have a meaningful bond with a newborn. It's in line with the research in UK in 2023 said that 2/3 of those who took paternity leave didn't feel that they had enough time to bond with your child. And about the marital stability, based on journal, the causal effect of paternity leave on children and parents by Saracos state that there is no evidence that paternity leave affects fertility and marital stability. And also, there is no evidence that paternal leave reduces the level of depression in mothers. Instead of, there's a correlation between maternal leave and the reduce of postpartum depression. So it's not because of paternal leave. In fact, not only fathers know what to do with their newborn babies, which can create a level of stress for the mother because in addition to taking care of the child, she has to take care of her husband as our culture do. Totally, there's no guarantee about their love life as family, whether the father took the paternity leave or not. And about the father's career also, according to the research in UK, 2023 said the paternal leave had been impacted the career of the fathers in the bad ways, of course. And research in the US by Jennifer Berdal found that men who took leave suffer career penalties similar to women who had taken leave. And about the social impact also, men has the worst social impact if they take paternal leave rather than social impact for women. Women are quite positive. Here, we talk about self-esteem and dignity as a man. So we did a mini survey independently of the 10 people we asked about paternal leave. They said, this can be, instead of take care of child, they will look for additional work, which is not in line with the purpose of the paternal leave itself. So what is our solution then? Of course, we have a solution to offer. First, let the fathers have a flexible working hour so the company will not experience a shortage of employees due to leave, and also fathers will have a bonding time with children. Second, we should provide a 6-month maternity leave for mother because the first years of life are recognized as a critical period for children. So at the end of this paternal leave, in terms of work, social life, marriage life, company, so many risks that can occur. And of course, this risk will also be felt by his family. That's why we believe we shouldn't implement paternity leave. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we are entering the conclusion part. The first team that deliver their conclusion or replies goes to the negative team and then replied by the affirmative team. The negative team, you shall be ready. Your time begins once you start speaking.
Thank you. From our discussion, we have a conclusion. First, child development is not determined by the paternity leave during childbirth. According to World Health Organization, Ministry of Health, IDAI, newborn can sleep up to 20 hours a day. So why we have to give the paternity leave until 40 days? That's wasting time and lost the company money or our country money. If I were Miss Sri Mulyani, I doubt to approve this project. So the father, where is the guarantee? The father will be used the time for the propose or for the pure only to caring mother or baby. So Indonesia with patriarchal culture, physically, the father figure maybe not be able to do household work. There is another solution. So we strongly disagree with this paternity leave being implemented because can affect male employee performance at career, especially every or 2 years their wife giving birth. So let's look at it from point of view, the job provider position. How much financial loss? There is no definite guarantee this policy will be implemented properly in accordance with the aims and objectives. How can you monitor that a father time during paternity leave is actually used for his wife and her children? There is no experience data, no clear parameter yet, not measurable, and not not familiar in our society. So we have to think twice or more to trying this. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. The next is the conclusion from the affirmative house. The time starts once you start speaking.
Okay, so in conclusion, our house believes that we should implement paternity leave for fathers. Here are some points that I would like to highlight on why we believe in that. First, paternal involvement plays a crucial role in reducing maternal and infant mortality rates by improving mothers' access to resources and emotional supports. CIPCO mentioned that better emotional support from fathers can significantly lower the risk of poor birth outcomes, such as preterm births. Besides that, the second key factors that we should take note of, the significant gap in father-child bonding in Indonesia, with only 35% of fathers being actively involved in daily childcare and bonding activities. This gap not only affects the emotional and social development of children, but also points out that we need policies to encourage and support fathers in involvement in early childcare. For the next point, I want to underline that family-friendly policies should consider multiple stakeholders, including spouses and children, rather than focusing solely on the employees and organizations. Policies that promote work-life balance, such as paternity leave, can help reduce workplace stress and enhance job satisfaction. Employees who have supported by their organization are more likely to remain loyal and perform at their highest levels. Last but not least, this is the mental health of the mother and the baby, especially the baby who will be part of the Indonesia Emas in 2045. Let me say this again. This is the mental health of the mother and the baby who will be part of the Indonesia Emas 2045. We have to start now to make it happen. Let's become a resilient, independent, and inclusive nation by 2045. Thank you.
Thank you to affirmative team. Okay, that's it. The debate session is over. Thank you, everyone. Everyone did well to deliver your opinion and data, and each and every one of you used the time very well. Now it's time to let our adjudicators to have a breakout room session to discuss this debate session, and we will come back in a few minutes. To the speakers, you may get a break, but remember to stand by until the session is officially done. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Welcome back, our adjudicators. So it's time for the adjudicators to deliver the comments and feedbacks, as well as announce the winner for today's session. We would like to invite first Mrs. Ayatullah Pomalingo to deliver the comment. The time and media are yours, Miss. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mbak Laras, the adjudicators team, and especially affirmative and negative house. May we give some applause for both of the teams. Okay, first, actually, this topic is very debatable. Both of the teams can make or can conduct a lot of statement of or content that we can build to strengthen our statement, like when affirmative house stated about father engagement or children satisfaction, it can be countered by workplace productivity or employee productivity rate. Instead of we ask or we challenge about the regulation or about the how the men and their tax in household. This is the first. And be careful. I wanna warn you, be careful of trap situation in several things like repetition. I see several conditions that happen in several speakers about the repetition of the topics or the statements, and there is a risk of repeating the same points multiple times. And the second is limited flexibility. When the first speaker restricts about some statements or some topics, there will be a lot of restriction about the ability to introduce new arguments after the first speaker. But in the end, I have to give applause for the affirmative house and the negative house. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Ayat. Next, please, Mr. Hendra Rompas to deliver the comment and feedback. The media is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mayas. For all adjudicators and for both team, affirmative and negative, we give applause for this debate today. I think it's awesome, but nevertheless, we should give a comment actually as educator. Don't forget about when you deliver the debate, the content and the strategy of the debate. That's one thing that you should learn how to deliver the content that you have to raise up. We hope that when you in this battle, the adrenaline raise up as well, and we can have some point to discuss more specific. But again, maybe the lack of information or maybe seeking information, you have limited for that, like the regulation of Ministry of Manpower. We should check again about that, about the parental leave. Already mentioned it in chapter 23, verse 4, if I'm not mistaken. also about the situation and global situation, about the parental leave and anything behind that. But most of all, for me, it's good. But don't forget, just not learn about the content, but the strategy and how to deliver the debate. That's for me, I think. I give that to Laras.
Thank you, Mr. Hendra. And the last adjudicators to give the feedback and comment, as well as announce our winner for today's session is Mr. Donni Hendrawan. To Mr. Donni, the time and media is yours.
Yes, thank you, Malaras. Good evening, all participants and also our moderators, our educators. First of all, I would like to comment just a few notes that I remember during the debates. But first of all, I would like to say congratulations because you have already finished these hot topic debates, because paternity leaves is quite a difficult topics to debate, I think, because especially for the negative house, because as you know, as a human being, we have already our own preference. Like me, I very supportive of paternal leave because I think it's very good. But I don't know with Pak Hendra or with Bu Ayat, but for myself, I really support this kind of regulation, and I really hope that negative house can convince me that my belief is not as strong as this. But so this is a few notes that I get from the debates. First of all, I really hope that all the participants not only focus on what they have already scripted. I mean, what they already designed the debates, but they must also hear what the opponents, what your opponents or what the others say something, and you must try to get some weakness from all their arguments that they talk about. So I think it's one of the few points I noticed that both groups are really more focused on what they have already designed on the script, I think, or maybe on the notes. So they sometimes you are both of the groups. Sometimes you forget the what I mean the things that maybe it is some kind of weakness from the other groups. Second of all, I think you must also updating with all the new situation or the current situation. For example, the negative house thing, if I'm not mistaken, the negative house statement that the law of mother and child welfare is still on discussion in parliament. No, it's already been released. I think it's already released like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So this is very important to also relate all the topics to the current situation and condition, because you must convince us, at least us as the educators, to I mean to giving you a very good credits about it. And I think the last thing is, I mean, we really hope that you can start to not talking too fast, I think, because as you know, English is not our mother language. So it's not, I mean, we are not in racing of speeding English, not something like that. But what we are really want is how you can all of both of you can debate in a very clear tone, a very clear intonation, a very clear mind, so that we can get the idea of what you are talking and what you are trying to propose, something like that. So based on this note and the other educated notes, I think we already we decide that maybe the winner from this debate right now is the affirmative house, I think. And for the best speaker, we decided on the second speaker from affirmative house. So yeah, congratulations. And for the negative house, I think for Nori and Anissa, because these girls are actually is my girls, I think, because they both of these girls they've been working with me side by side. So not too sad or something. Maybe you can do better next time. Okay. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you, and forgive us if our comment or our judgment is not really good or something like that. But yeah, this is we just try to I mean to pick the best from this debate. Thank you.
Thank you to Mr. Donni. Congratulations for the INDC team. And we also appreciate for Suri girls for the performance today. I hope today's debate gives you all an amazing experience. Thank you, everyone. So this is the end of this debate session. Thank you, everyone, for joining our today's match. Thank you for our adjudicators, teams, counselors, and supporters. See you in the next round. See you in the new world. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you all.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank you
Congratulations
all.
all.
It's Jakarta right now, is it? No?
Yes,
Not
sir.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Bye,
See you,
sir.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you, adjudicators.
Thank you,
Thank you very
educator,
much.
moderator, and all the team.
Singing.
See
Thank you
you.
all. Thank you.
Thank
See you.
you.
Congratulations for the best speaker. Thank you, Mbak Laras, Mbak Vika.
Oh yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Mr.
Ya, Pak Laras, Mbak Vika.